This just in. As a small service business owner, if you ever lie awake at night terrified that your marketing is slightly out of touch, let me deeply reassure you. You will never mess up as spectacularly as the executives at Ferrari just did. Imagine you run the world's most famous steakhouse, and one day you proudly invite the Pope and the President of Italy to a massive press conference just to unveil a $640,000 block of raw tofu. That is essentially the level of corporate disconnect we are witnessing with the Ferrari Luce. According to an article by Osman Chia at the BBC, the Italian luxury car maker hired former iPhone designer Sir Jony Ive to build their very first electric vehicle. And the resulting five-seater is facing a public backlash so severe that the company's shares immediately plummeted 8%. As a StoryBrand certified guide, I am constantly begging business owners to stay in their lane. When you abandon the core identity that made your customers love you just to chase a shiny new industry trend, you don't look innovative. You look utterly desperate. And the markets will punish you for it. So let's rip apart the unmitigated disaster of the Ferrari Luce, explore why their main competitors are quietly laughing at them, and discuss how you can use undeniable brand clarity to completely outmaneuver your confused corporate rivals. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrand certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of effort that drives 80% of the results. All so that your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. But let's be honest, if your messaging is confusing or tries to say everything at once, your ideal clients will instantly ignore you. That's what my 5-minute marketing fix was built to solve. Stop losing sales. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, how do you alienate your entire customer base in a single day? Well, you have to admire the sheer unfiltered hubris required to completely destroy decades of carefully cultivated brand equity in a single afternoon. Ferrari is a brand built exclusively on sleek, low-slung supercars with roaring aggressive engines. That is their entire identity. But with the unveiling of the Luce, they handed us an electric 5-seater that lacks the distinctive engine noise and the iconic profile. The backlash was instant and brutal. The former Ferrari chairman publicly stated that the Luce is risking the destruction of a legend and suggested the firm should literally rip its iconic badge off the hood of the car. Italy's transport minister openly wondered what the founder, Enzo Ferrari, would say, calling it anything but a car from the prancing horse. Which brings us to why high-end collectors are calling it the loser. When you charge a massive price premium, you aren't selling a utility vehicle. You're selling status. And nobody wants to pay $640,000 to look like a confused soccer parent. Social media users immediately began drawing brutal comparisons between the wildly expensive Luce and the cheap mass-market Nissan Leaf. Sean Baker, an Australian-based collector who has owned over 50 Ferraris, told the BBC that he now refers to the Luce simply as the loser. He noted that people generated AI redesigns of the car in 10 seconds that looked drastically better than what Ferrari's highly paid executives came up with. The brand failed to do a basic dipstick test with its loyal fans, completely destroying its own aspirational image in the process. And now, why is Ferrari getting annihilated by Chinese competitors? When you abandon the unique identity that makes you special, you immediately become a highly interchangeable commodity. And in the EV market, that means you have to fight China. Ferrari supposedly built the Luce to take on Chinese EVs, but that is a mathematical suicide mission. China has vast supply chains that lower EV production costs by at least 30% compared to the rest of the world. A Chinese firm like BYD is currently selling the all-electric Yangwang U9 for $250,000, and it can hit 60 miles per hour in just over 2.3 seconds, making it both significantly cheaper and actually faster than the $640,000 Ferrari Luce. If your only selling point is being a fast battery, the market will simply buy the cheaper battery. So why is Lamborghini laughing all the way to the bank? Well, the most spectacular part of this entire fiasco is that Ferrari's biggest rival just proved that listening to your actual customers is still the best business strategy on earth. While Ferrari's CEO is aggressively defending his widely mocked electric vehicle, the Lamborghini boss took a completely different path. Lamborghini officially scrapped its entire EV program. Why? Because they realized there was weak demand and their customers specifically prefer the roaring petrol engines that made the brand famous. They stuck to what their audience actually wanted to buy, leaving Ferrari holding the bag on a $500,000 punchline. You need a clear structural foundation to communicate your specialized focus to the world. So get my 5-minute marketing fix. This rapid diagnostic tool uses your actual human brain to craft a crystal clear story brand one-liner. It gives you a standardized, reliable framework to confidently establish your specific brand identity. You cannot charge a premium if you confuse your customers. So prove to your audience that you aren't just another desperate company chasing a trend, but a fiercely specialized guide who actually understands what they want. Stop confusing your customers. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? What is the most spectacularly misguided brand pivot you have ever witnessed? I'll go first. Jaguar recently unveiled a concept car called the Type 00 that's completely abandoned their classic luxury roots to look disruptive, sparking a massive public outrage. Okay, your turn. What's the worst you've seen? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, you might like this one too. It's about why the corporate world is secretly sabotaging its own AI strategy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.